Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video. And look, I know there is snow on the ground in Kansas right now, but we're getting summer units this week, which, okay. It's been a little bit of time since we've gotten the summer units, and there's probably some people out there who are thinking about, should I build one of them? Should I build none of them? Should I finish off some of the ones that I pulled before and maybe have it level 99? And I think it's a good time to, one, test out my new green screen capabilities here on the channel, but to also take a look at these units with a February 2022 lens, because it's been a while since we've seen them since they've been released, especially in the case of Lilyth and Kitone. So let's peek at them here. Let's see what they're holding up to today. And I want to start with Summer Lilyth. Now, Summer Lilyth was one of the original summer units that we got. She's a Ranger dual gunner paladin, and her pros and cons look kind of like this. She's got a lot of range in her kit. That's very true. She's a tanky girl versus physical. She has reflex, which that right there is worth points. Reflex is a OP skill, and she's got it. So that's a big feather in her cap. She has big AoE potential, and not only that, her big AoE barrage has a 100% hit modifier on it when you take her to 120, which is a big reason to think about taking her to 120 if you're an Earth player and you want to build her up. And she's got a Mortal Paladin in her sub job. We'll look a little bit more at her skills here in just a second, but she does have some drawbacks as well. She's an older unit. She does not come with that Earth buff that the new units come. No HP and Earth attack up for your group. She's going to have to wait until she gets her Master Ability 2 to get that. And then mages are going to have a pretty good time against her, if I'm being honest. So let's look at her kit a little bit more here and dig a little deeper. If you're getting her for the first time, I don't think her TMR is bad, but I don't think it's worth getting just on its own merits, right? The stat line's okay with the accuracy. The attack and range buff is decent, but I don't think that's something you're going to go for. When we look at her skills, I think a couple of them jump off the screen that really highlight exactly what she can do. One is strong draw mastery right here, range up, accuracy up, which is really good, and she's just going to be a good unit against evasion, right? She has 100% hit. She's got a lot of 100% hit and some accuracy right there. And then you see defense and missile resist that contribute to her overall tankiness. So I think that's pretty cool. You can combine that with Holy Knight's protection for some even more tankiness. Boom, or you can go more agility. Here's the thing about agility on all of these units. They're all in that low 62, 63, 64 range. None of them are slow. None of these girls are slow. They can all move, and there's defense penetration on tune-up. So that will help her damage out a lot. I like that. Counter, you just run reflex. Easy, done. No one even need to think about that. And then here's what's special about her kit. Now, I'm not going to go through every one of these unit skills one by one. That would make this video way too long. I'm just pointing out the highlights for you. So, Barrage, which gets upgraded to 100% hit chance. That's a huge deal. Her other upgrade is Drain Charge. This will help her be tankier by giving her access to some lifesteal. And then Armor Break Arrow is a really good job level 25 ability. It's a defense debuff on the target, nice AoE damage, and then it increases her defense by 15. It's another way of getting some defense on her. And then I want to shout out a couple other things. Sharpshoot is on her Ranger sub job. I do think that hurts her a little bit. If this was on her main job, she would have two 100% hitters in her main job. She doesn't. So that's a minus in my opinion again. She does have a 4-hit attack for chaining, which is nice in her dual gunner sub. I think mostly you're going to run her in Paladin sub here for Immortal Spirit, which is an awesome buff. And then for manual PvP, never forget about Sentinel. It's a really useful move when you're repositioning in manual PvP to just pop Sentinel, get that defense and spirit buff in case you're out of position and somebody nails you. So that's kind of what she's bringing there. And then she does have a nice immobilized chance with a missile resist debuff in her limit break. Okay, so that is Lilyth, right? Overall, I'm going to give Lilyth, like you see on the screen, about a B. If I'm ranking them C through S, I'm going to start off with Lilyth in a B. Man, the biggest thing I don't like about her is that she's older and doesn't come with that elemental buff. I think that's just such a big thing to have. She misses out on that. I'm going to give her a B. Okay, let's go next. And next up is going to be Summer Kitone, the other one of our original summer units right here. And Kitone has a big damage potential. I think that's a pro for her. And she's a fire unit that deals magic damage, which means she has a good synergy with Rain and Classy Glassy. Look, fire is fire's getting stronger all the time in global. That's a good thing. But it's always kind of awkward to me to build fire teams that feel really good together. I think Kitone has a chance to fill in that gap if you're somebody who has Classy Glassy and Rain, who both scale with magic. There's a really good fire magic vision card with the Fire Bros card, so I think that's a cool opportunity for her. She has a good sleep on her limit break, and I think her sub jobs are really, really nice. Now, cons for her. Again, old unit, no elemental buff. Oh, that sucks. Especially that sucks if you're trying to run her with that same team I just mentioned, because Rain also doesn't have that buff. So that is a big con for her, because I think the best tank to pair her with is Rain. And I think it's like, oh no, now you have two units that don't bring the elemental buff. Ouch. She feels a little bit behind the power curve to me as well. But let's look at her, like, we got stats, right? We can dig a little bit deeper on her. I'll flesh this out a little more. Okay. Kodadama Wielder, Ruin Knight Ninja. I like her jobs. I think her job selection is really nice. Her TMR, not great, right? Like, it's a missile, it's an AoE missile resist buff. I think that's useful, but again, not something that I would go for just for the sake of having it. And never sleep on the Silence Charm and Immobilize debuff, or buff there as well. That's something, right? Being immune to those is a big deal sometimes. If we look at her skills, you can kind of see Ninja is going to give her those really good ninja support abilities. You have an agility and luck option. You have a move and jump 1 option, which is nice. Mostly though, I think Ruin Knight for Spirit Pin and accuracy, mixed with like maybe fire enhancing Ruin or Ice Spirit's Blessing if you're fighting some magic teams or ice teams. So she has good options there. Her counter abilities, she has a very nice counter ability right here with her upgraded Steeled Ephemeral form. It is now a 30% chance to reduce all damage taken by 30%. I think that's really good. I think that's the one you're going to run. Then when you go down to her main job, Kodadama Wielder is a pretty cool main job. 100% hit ability right off the top here, 6 uses, 141% damage, unavoidable pain. You see this move all the time. She has anti-magic wall. Again, if you're going against magic, she has a magic shield. I think that's nice. Then Heart-like Needles. This gets upgraded, and it's a pretty dang good upgrade. It's a good buff anyway, right? This is a buff you want your mages to cast on each other. Magic attack up, and then Spirit Pin for her. She's also going to get slash resistance on this, which is awesome. Any unit that can bring like a big 25% resistance buff to your group, I think that's cool. I think that's a good upgrade. And then her job level 25 ability is a debuff AoE magic attack. So you can see she's like a magic attacker. I want to point out though, her Ruin Knight sub job. Like, look, you're never going to run Ninja sub on her. You're just not going to do it. You're going to run Ruin Knight sub because it gives her access to a second damage type, which is slashing damage. Still scales with magic, but it's slashing. And she has, I think I just refreshed the page. That's awkward. She also has the like Wombo combo here, which is Drain Evocation, right? Really long range ability that is a magic steroid for 1 turn and slash resist pin buff for 1 turn. So like it's damage from long range. It also heals you. And then you can drop a hazard slash on him next turn. 225% damage, scales with your magic, AoE. This can just wreck people or Fireblade next turn. That's the combo, and she has it, and she can pull it off. Does it overcome like maybe those negatives? I don't think so, but the thing for me with Summer Kitone is that she's one of the ones I haven't built up. She's the lowest level summer unit I have. I would really like to finish her to try her in some fire teams, especially now that I'm running fire a little bit more. So I'm going to put a question mark next to that. B grade I'm going to give her here. And maybe some of you out there who play her a lot more. I know Justin, like y'all know Square Enix Justin, he loves this chick. So there you go. That's my Summer Kitone breakdown. Let's move on to Summer Elsi next. And she is a really good unit. Like, Summer Elsie's a really good unit. Let's talk about her. Her pros. She's a big tanky girl. This is a girl who's pretty hard to kill. She has plenty of 100% hit moves in her kit. She can shield and protect herself with a single buff. Now, that does lean into her being a more anti-physical unit than an anti-magic unit, but being able to put a physical shield on yourself plus protect with 1 skill, don't sleep on that. That's nice. And she has access to both striking and magic damage options. Her cons, her drawback here. Water in global is not great. right now. It's coming. Water's Day is coming. It will be here eventually. Give it a month or 2 or 3. But right now, it's going to be rough. She's a newer unit though, so she does have the elemental buff for your group. That's good. That will help water. But I think she can also struggle against physical or against magical teams. So let's look at her kit a little bit more. Blessed Ribbon, if you're thinking about getting her just for her TMR, it's a heal. This always intrigued me, but I've honestly never used it. I haven't invested any levels into it, and I don't think you need to because it doesn't scale super well with levels. You're getting 180% or 180x modifier heal at level 1. It only goes up by 30 at max rank, so I wouldn't even level this. It's a heal though. So for something like Tower, if you're struggling with that, you would have some more healing. Keep that in mind. Let's look at her skills. That's where we're going to see what this chick can do exactly. Notice that knowledge reserves for her gets an upgrade. So it's an activation time down buff with spirit pin thrown in, which brings us to a legitimate reason to cast it. A weakness of mages is oftentimes their casting times. They can die while they're casting, or if they're trying to heal somebody, the people they're healing can die while they're casting. This will help overcome that. But looking at her support abilities, I think you really see what she's supposed to do. Note, look, defense and accuracy, defense and HP, magic, spirit, fire resistance. There's a lot of tanky stats in here. If you're going for a full-on anti-fire group, that's really nice. Mix that in with like scholarly intuition for defense and accuracy. You're going to be in a good place, or Holy Knight's protection, or mix in the spirit pin with some defense, right? She's going to be a really thick girl to kill. Her counter abilities, Paladin's Guard's probably going to be one of the best ones here. It's a 20% chance to reduce physical damage by 45. So if you can find those full-on physical teams, this is a nice skill to use. She also has a 20% chance to counter all damage, 30% of that damage. So good options here, but not great. No reflex, right? She's not rocking the reflex. If we look at her main job, the thing I want to point out here is Geo Absorption gets upgraded to Geo Assimilation. This is an important skill for her because it gives her that striking damage type, which is a very hard type to mitigate. And she has a 185% big AoE modifier that absorbs 30% of the damage done, and with the upgrade, reduces counter chance by 100%. So no reflex, no Aeon Bond, no, getting hit by Gilgamesh before this hits her if you're standing right next to him. You know what I mean? It turns off their counter move, which is an awesome skill. Like this skill alone, super good. Then she has defense buffs in here. She's also got Law of Safeguarding, and this is that special skill I was talking about, right? This is a 30% physical damage shield and protect for 3 turns. You'll love to see it. It has 2 uses, which makes it good for Guild Wars. And I think once water starts powering up a little bit more, you're going to see some more of this girl in groups because she has that crucial water group buff. And then she's got some good skills to back that up. If we go into her sub-jobs a little bit, her Paladin sub-job, she does have a Mortal Spirit. Mortal Spirit's never a bad thing to have. She has Sentinel, which I talked about, is really good for manual PvP. I know she does have slashing damage type in here, but it scales with attack, so you're going to want to avoid that. Kodadama Wielder will give her 100% hit chance move. And there you go. Her Limit Break is her other 100% hit chance move. Big AoE, decreases AP for the targets, hits for 200% damage. She likes to cast this. When you see Summer Elsi, she does that like Typhoon thing that you saw in the video. Her AI really likes to use this move. So that's Summer Elsi kind of in a nutshell right there. And I'm going to give her an A- overall. I think her grade would improve if water was stronger. But we're talking about right now. She's coming out this week. So let's grade her on right now. And that leaves us with only one more. We have one more summer unit to talk about. And that's going to be Summer Kilphe here. Now, Summer Kilphe is our newest girl, right? She's really strong. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is a good one. She has a great TMR, which is something I can't really say about the other 3. She comes with both penetrations that she needs to succeed. And this is even highlighted more by the fact that we're getting her axe, which has slash attack penetration on it. Really, really a good thing for her. She's also super useful in PvE PvE contact. Yes, where you contact the enemy mob with your PvE skills. I meant to say PvE content. She's really good there. Light slashing is good in general. She brings a lot to that. Cons. Single damage type. right? Now, yes, she does have the penetrations if you have her built up, if you have her axe to potentially penetrate, slash resistance and defense, but she is limited to just slashing. That is a con, it's worth mentioning. And against top tier physical DPS units, I think she will struggle to survive sometimes. She's going to be very survivable against magic, but maybe struggle to survive against physical. I just recently unlocked her 120. I'm working on leveling her up to 120, and really looking forward to getting to use her a little bit more. Okay, we can dive into her a little bit deeper like we've done for the rest though. Let's put that on the screen. Here you go. First up, this TMR that I was talking about, phenomenal. This is a great TMR. If you pull her, she's worth getting 99 for this, in my opinion. It's a Spirit Agility accessory, and the buff is amazing. AP buff plus 20, so you get 20 AP. You also get Shell for 3 turns. This is nice. I like these TMRs. Her Master ability, she has the Light Party buff, Master ability. Then she has Spirit and Attack as well. Let's look at her skills. Okay. Support abilities, self-sacrifice is really going to help her damage. She also has access to Thief Lore for some agility. I think though you're going to want to run Natural Instincts almost all the time. 40 defense pin is a lot. That'll be very helpful. And 25 accuracy. Evasion's out there. Evasion is pretty decent in the game right now. Having accuracy is nice. So really these three you're going to pick between them. Counter moves, she does have Danger Sense, which is all damage, a 20% chance to reduce it by 30. I think that's pretty good. I'll probably stick with that one if it was me, I'd be sticking with that one. In her main job, she has a unique main job. That's pretty cool. Let's look at a couple of her big ticket moves here. Spirit Ward Mastery. This is an attack buff for allies in this small AoE for 3 turns. Then it's a spirit buff for allies. Bringing a spirit buff to your group is a nice thing to do. And then she also brings magic resist. So if you're fighting anti-magic teams, you can see how useful she's going to be. Find a way to group up, get this spirit and magic resistance buff up for 3 turns. That's really nice, and it has 3 uses. Really, really cool there. Frostwind Axe, this is another one of her staple moves. 165% damage, nice range, hits in an AoE, and has a 25% chance to inflict Frostbite for 3 turns for the target, which is the AP draining move. This is crippling. If you've ever been inflicted with Frostbite before, you know how much it sucks. So that's pretty cool. And then she gives herself regeneration. I always say regen. I don't know why. Regen just always sounded good to me. But anyway, she gets regen from that, which is really cool. She also has access to an accuracy buff and slash resistance penetration buff for her allies. This is a crucial buff. More accuracy, and here's another way of getting slash resistance penetration besides just building her axe. So keep that in mind. She has a barrier break and a defense penetration buff for herself. With her job level 25 move. So 40 defense pin, then absorbs damage dealt. Short range, but there's more defense pin to stack with the defense pin from her support ability. Really, really nice. When we look at her sub jobs here, you'll see a 2-hitter. This is where she starts to be useful for PvE content. She has a multi-hit attack. However, I think one of her other really useful areas for PvE looks like this. She has Soldier Sub, which means she can equip the Halloween Vision card for the 3-hit attack from that. That's important because I think you might want to run her in her Thief Sub for a lot of PvE content. She has Steal Time, right? So that's the CT down and agility buff for herself. Steal Time is an important mechanic for big chains in high-end PvE against bosses. So I think that's cool. There's a nice little combo here where you can run Steal Time plus the Halloween Vision card, Exorcist, for the triple hitter here. If you're not doing that, she does have access to a 2-hitter here. Nothing in her main job, but she can be a good chainer for your PvE content. And then she has a light resistance debuff, which is also really good for chaining in PvE. Hit the boss. God, my words are going away. Hit the boss with the light resistance debuff to get up to a flying start there. And that's the Summer Kilphe story. I'm going to give her an A. So if we're going over grades real quick, what grades did I give everybody? Who's like one of the best ones to build? All right, Lilyth. Went with a B for Lilyth, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. I've used Lilyth a lot. She's very, very usable. B. Usable. If you like her, build her. You won't regret it. Kitone. I want to give Kitone a B. Just don't really know enough about her yet. But I talked about kind of my theory on her. So there you go. Summer Elsi. Really good unit. Water. Rip. I give her an A-. And then Kilphe, overall, I'm going to give the A. So if I was if I didn't have any of them and I had a chance to build one of them and I could pick it, I would probably build Kilphe. I think she's probably the best one of the group. And there you go. That's this video. So I hope that, hey, let me know, guys, if you like this new little green screen approach we're doing here. I really wanted to test a lot of things out in this video, and so I hope it was good. I hope you guys liked it. Yeah, have a great day, everybody. Good luck with whatever you're doing in the game this week, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.